At a BBQ party, my wife announced her pregnancy not with me, but with my best friend. Everyone cheered, expecting me to collapse. My best friend said, "I've been doing your wife for a year, and you didn't even notice, loser." I raised a toast, smiling, just like I did with your daughter. You're going to be a granddad surprise. Their faces turned pale. Minutes later, the police broke in, and the real nightmare began. My name is Jonathan Archer, and I've never been fond of dramatics. Emotions were liabilities, my father used to say. He was Austin Archer, a hardened man who built a company from the dust, and turned it into a fortress. He was stoic, he was sharp. And I absorbed every lesson he taught me, silently, thoroughly, even when I told myself I never wanted to become like him. If you'd asked me 10 years ago whether I believed in destiny, I'd have said no. But here I am, stepping into a storm I never saw coming. And in some twisted way, I almost believe he'd predicted it all. I married Scarlett when we were both in our early 20s. She was full of life and warmth, and I felt privileged to be the man on her arm. We had a daughter, Willow. I poured time and resources into my family, trying to be what I thought was a good husband and father, even though my father's mannerisms lurked in me like an echo. 25 years of marriage. That's a lot of life, the arguments, the reconciliations, the daily routines. I had no idea how quickly any sense of stability could vanish, or how thoroughly illusions could be shattered, when you realize that all along, you may have been just one step away from losing everything you thought mattered. It all began, as many things do, with an ordinary day, August 27th. I remember it clearly, the air was hot. The sun hammered the city with a punishing glare. But in the office, things felt manageable. I closed out a few deals, ended meetings early, and decided to come home to surprise Scarlett. We were approaching our 25th wedding anniversary on September 1st. I was thinking we'd plan some getaway. Little did I know, I was about to step into a confrontation that would destroy the life I knew. When I walked into the kitchen, I saw them. Scarlett by the counter. Willow seated at the table. They looked like they'd rehearsed speeches, though neither had said a word yet. I set my briefcase down, said a casual hello, and asked what was going on. Scarlett motioned toward the chair. "Jonathan, please sit," she said. Willow's eyes darted between us, almost triumphant. "Dad, we need to talk." I took a seat, resting my elbows on the table in a posture of forced calm. "All right," I said, looking from one face to the other. "I'm listening." Scarlett inhaled, then spoke softly but firmly. "We're going to hit 25 years in 5 days, Jonathan. I need change. I've been thinking about what I want out of life. These have been good years, I suppose, but I want the chance to explore something else." "What do you mean, something else?" I asked, my voice strangely steady. Willow chimed in. "Mom wants an open marriage," she said, her tone almost gleeful. "And I think it's a great idea. All modern couples do this." "Everyone does, Dad. Physical stuff doesn't matter, you just need to trust each other." I turned to my daughter. That last sentence, the one about trust, was almost insulting. "You're telling me that modern couples, everywhere, are doing this? Really?" She nodded like she was an authority on the matter. "You're so old-fashioned. Love isn't just about being physically exclusive these days. If you really love each other, you'll let each other be free." Inside, my stomach burned, a quiet anger simmering, but outwardly, I maintained a neutral look. "Scarlett," I said, turning my attention to my wife, "is this how you feel?" She bit her lip, eyes shifting across the table. "Jonathan, I just need a change. It's not that I'm unhappy. I'm just bored with this, doing the same thing. Sleeping with the same man. I want something new." When she put it like that, with so little regard, something twisted in my chest. I had the urge to stand up and walk away, but I stayed put, tapping my fingers on the table in an old habit from my Army Ranger days. "Count, breathe, don't let them see you break." So I said, at length, "This is your plan. You date other men, and I do what? Sit at home, wave goodbye as you head out with them." Willow scoffed. "Stop being so dramatic, Dad. You can date too, nobody's stopping you. But let's be honest, it might be a challenge for you. Just accept the times have changed. You'll probably need an app or something, but hey, you can figure it out." They started giggling, like I was some punchline on late-night TV. I clasped my hands, exhaled, and asked, "Is there already someone you have in mind?" "Scarlett?" She hesitated only briefly. "It's James," she said softly, "James Smith. He owns that nice restaurant on Avenue Street." Willow leaned forward, excited. "Oh my God, Mom, I love your taste. He's so gorgeous, good for you." Something inside me tightened. James, of course. I'd entertained business associates at his place so many times, and now he was apparently betting my wife. Still, I forced an even tone. "I see you two have planned it well. So Willow, you're telling me that if James wants to date your mother, you're all right with it?" She flashed an easy smile. "Of course. Don't be such a dinosaur, Dad." I said nothing else. Rising from my chair, I walked toward the sink, letting the quiet stretch. They seemed perplexed by my calm. "Scarlett," I said at last, "this is no trifling matter. You know that, right?" She nodded, but set her jaw. "I've never been more certain of anything," she said. I turned off the tap. "All right, I'm in." They froze. Willow actually smirked, as though I'd given them a gift. "Really? You'll agree to open the marriage. Yes, I said, on one condition. There can't be conditions, Willow interjected, crossing her arms. That's controlling. I make the conditions, I cut her off, turning to stare at both of them. This house belongs to me, courtesy of the prenup I signed with your mother, at my father's insistence. You two want your open arrangement, that's fine. But I will decide the ground rules for how we live in my property. If that's not acceptable, you'll find yourselves a different house. A different life, understood? Scarlett's eyes widened, a flicker of apprehension there. Willow tried to brush it off with a laugh. Dad, this is half Mom's house legally, but Scarlett held up a hand. Stop, Willow. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.